afterwards.
Now I understand what Marlon was saying about that. It would be to Nunn's advantage to fight inside, because the bigger, the stronger of the two would naturally beat Nunn. But I always thought it would be Nunn would stay on the outside and just pick Starling apart.
Nunn now again is a righty. How long will he stay in this posture? We've not seen it very much from him in fights before. And Nunn switches back at the behest of his corner. Halfway through this round. And Marlon Starling getting his shots in. They're urging Nunn to go to the body. Probably a good idea, Ann.
I think he's better off going to the body, because Starling gives him too many licks in there. He's wiggling, he's waggling. He's a hard guy to get to.
And there's what I think is the key. Nunn stepping to the right. I think that's a real key for him, because when he does, he can land that left hand better.
Right, stepping right over top of it. Yeah, beautiful. That's a good call.
Here in round 3.
Marlon is definitely came to fight. Very cocky.
Starling is pressing the attack, and Michael Nunn not moving nearly as much. Good right hand. Good hand speed by Starling. Again, he gets to the chin of Michael Nunn. The overhand right getting there and pushes Michael Nunn back. So in round 3, Marlon Starling making a statement. With less than half a minute left to go in the round, he pushes Nunn back with the right hand.
Beautiful fight. I'm really impressed with the way that Marlon has really studied Michael Nunn with this boxing, because Marlon is clearly outboxing Nunn on the outside, and that's amazing.
Which is shocking, and we did not think, no one thought that could happen.
Not at all.
So it's early, though, but nevertheless, for Marlon Starling, round 3, one of the most gratifying, probably, of his professional career. Let's listen to what will be said in this corner.
Here's what, his hands are fucking up in the air. His hands are up in the air. You've got to go to that body more, Mike. Jimmy, where's the bucket? Mike, look, when he's going into that shell, go to the body, dig those punches, and work around them. Turn them, and then use those uppercuts, Mike. That's what will catch this guy.
Here is Nunn. Now there you see the defense of Marlon Starling, an important point, Ange.
Well, that's the way he's got that own style. Fighters can't fight like that. What he does is gives you a look, and he really drives him crazy.
Even sticking his tongue out at Nunn. And now Starling will come back with the overhand rights. He can strike from this pose. Nothing big, but punches getting in there nevertheless.
Yeah. I've never seen Nunn get hit so many shots.
He can clearly make a difference late in the fight once Marlon starts stepping into that shot.
And so we move into round 4. Marlon Starling on the right, the WBC welterweight champion. Michael Nunn, the IBF middleweight champ, defending his crown as Starling moves up in an attempt to wrest the crown away. An ironic note, in the audience, the #1 rated IBF middleweight is Donald Curry, who would possibly get a shot at the winner. He's the man who twice beat Starling back in the early 80s.
Well, I'll tell you, Nunn's never been hit so many times I've seen him getting hit by Starling. And, and Starling really quicker hands, and he's taking his shots, and I think he's putting hurt on Nunn.
And of course, we've got to go back to the fact that here's Joe Goosen in the corner giving Nunn instructions, and yet he has not been working with Nunn for the last 2 weeks. So can Nunn respond to the ministrations of Goosen? Right now, though, trainers aside, it's the 2 men in the ring, and Nunn is having some problems with Starling.
If nothing else, Starling is surprising Nunn.
Oh boy, is he ever. You know about that, though. you surprised somebody.
Unbelievable.
Giving him the round. Come on, let's get busy.
That the voice, of course, of James Buster Douglas, who shocked Mike Tyson and everybody else by winning the heavyweight championship. Now Nunn going to the body as he was instructed to do.
But they're bumping heads. When he goes to the body, he's running into Starling's head. I think he got butted himself again.
Nunn using the jab and the left hand, but they're not there. And he's fighting on the inside with Starling, but it's not working with him.
They were using that end swell on the eye of Nunn. I think maybe it's blowing up a little more because he's bothered by, he's getting butted, but he's butting himself actually.
Now see, I think that's the key to Michael Nunn in this fight. Going to the body first, then the head. That will win him this fight if anything does. Good left hand by Nunn. Starling covering up excellent as usual. Now coming back with his own this bout. That in and of itself may come as a surprise to some people.
Well, it's surprising me for one simple fact that Starling is taking Nunn's shots very well, very well.
The lead right hand of Marlon Starling getting home to the head of Michael Nunn. Nunn not jabbing, just pawing out there with the right hand, looking to land that lead left.
He ought to continue that jab and work on getting that uppercut in. I think it'll be very effective to him.
Again, body work. That one a little low, and Mills Lane gives him a warning. Boy, it's going to be a busy night for Lane. Slapping punches by Nunn. The left gets home. Only seconds left in round 4, and it is shaping up as a battle. They both wail away. Good hook by Marlon Starling and a left by Nunn. Good work on the inside by Starling. Round 4 is history. This crowd is into it. These fighters are into it. That may surprise people.
Great fight.
Let him get off a little bit too much on the inside. Okay, let's just do this. Before you get on the inside, Mike, start using that jab more and circling around more, trying to pick up some shots from the side. Okay? Don't just walk right into him and let him be able to get his shots off. Okay? Start picking up the jab, use it. Start using your reach a little bit more. 1, 2, right, from the outside. Don't hang over with that left hand, though.
Michael Nunn had his moments in the last round, to be sure, and we will take a look at it. Nunn doing what Joe Goossen wants, starting to punch on the outside, though those didn't all land, but then once he's on the inside, landing a little bit, although Marlon Starling comes back.
Starling, the stronger of the two. He's bullying Nunn. He's pushing Nunn.
Surprising.
He's a big, strong guy.
Hey, listen.
Carrying the weight well, as Buster said, we head into round 5. You heard Joe Goossen. What they want from Nunn is to jab his way in, throw punches in the range, then work on the inside with Starling. We'll see if he can do it. Nunn, the 27-year-old champion from Davenport, Iowa, undefeated, 34-0, taking on the welterweight titleist Marlon Starling, who is growing in confidence with each round.
This pace is going to tell on either fighter. I think the best conditioned guy is going to really dominate. I think that Nunn's conditioning is lesser than Starling. Starling had the continuity. He didn't have the breakup like Nunn had with the training situation.
And now Michael Nunn starting to move and box, which we're used to seeing. Good uppercut on the inside by Nunn.
As well, I don't really think the breakup is going to have that much effect on Nunn. I think what's going to have effect is he got to, instead of pawing with his jab, he's going to have to stick it out there, put a snap on it. You know, get that blink in the eyes where he can come out with that left uppercut, follow up with the left.
They work on the inside.
Excuse me, Bus, champ. What I meant, breakup, leaving the camp, going someplace, and coming back someplace else. That don't do anybody no good. You got to continue your training at the regular pace.
We'll see if it does have an impact on Nunn. Certainly Michael Nunn not setting down on his punches very well right now. Marlon Starling just dropping his gloves. That is uncharacteristic of Starling. Very uncharacteristic.
Nunn has never fought a guy like Starling.
He's finding a lot of experience there, that's for sure.
That's right.
Now, Nunn's starting to move a little bit, and I'll tell you what, I think that movement could help him against Starling. Not running, but just movement, lateral movement. See, and they're yelling from Nunn's corner to move around. I think the lateral movement will confuse Starling.
It's a very good fight, very good fight. And both combatants
Right now, Nunn standing in front of Starling. Neither man landing a lot in this round. These will be tough rounds to judge.
There was that slide away move with Nunn. He slides with his jab, and he's on the move when he's jabbing with his right jab. And he gets hit with hooks, and he's getting hit with those sucker right hands.
And so no power on the jab as he moves. We're in round 5. It's scheduled for 12. So far, Marlon Starling more than holding his own with Michael Nunn. Good right hook to the body. And a
beautiful, beautiful.
And that's the kind of move they want from Nunn.
Giving those angles.